yesterday for homework, you were supposed to work on this page 71 and just do these 7 sentences at the top. Okay? It was just a practice, another practice.
Oh.
So this isn't going to be graded. Correct?
Well, we'll see how
I can tell you it's not going to be
plus
graded.
or minus it is before we make that decision.
How is this going to come back?
Okay? Now, multiple times yesterday and the earlier days of this week, people keep asking me, do I have to cross out the prepositions and mark the verbs? The answer is, you don't have to, as long as that doesn't mess you up. I would suggest you continue doing it, just to be certain. Do I have to do it? Maybe not, but how long have I been doing this?
A long time.
A long time. And I'm not to make hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm probably a little bit better at it than you are. So, okay. Number 1, a mural is a wall-sized work of art, and it can be produced in one of several ways. Okay, this sentence has a comma, fanboy. The verbs are can and is. Number 2, the fastest way to make a mural is by painting on a dry surface, but more enduring murals are made by the fresco technique, in which paint is applied to wet plaster. So, to make a mural by painting on a dry surface. Okay. Now, this is a little trick here with the word in. How many of you that did this crossed that whole thing out? Anybody?
I circled that whole thing.
Okay. So, which is a
It's a
subordinator? It's a WC word. Yep, WH word. And there's a verb in there.
Will you circle N with it?
Well,
That's what I did.
it doesn't really matter.
I did.
And then there's 2 other verbs. Murals are made, and the fastest way is. So this sentence is
Compound complex.
What? There's a comma but.
it is compound,
Right.
but it has a subordinator, so it's complex
Told you
also.
I was right, Casey.
The pledge is on.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I can't hear
You
you.
need to be louder.
Dude, that,
Goodness, people.
did they even say what's for lunch?
It's chicken. That's it. Just started.
Chicken.
That's all it says. I'm assuming it's part of that.
You know what chicken is 75% water? It means the last 25% is feathers.
Makes sense.
We have to do part B. No.
Yes, I did put it wrong.
I did.
Got myself into a pickle.
Wait, what did they say what's for lunch?
Chicken and potatoes.
Potatoes. I had the best chicken in my life last night. I don't know why, but it was so good.
Yeah, my grandma made some really good chicken.
CX.
I don't know how I get the right answer.
Did she just say turkey gravy?
Yeah.
She just said turkey gravy.
Yeah, it's like turkey gravy on mashed potatoes.
Last time we had that, mine crunched.
Well, it's chicken and then mashed potatoes.
No, I'm talking about the turkey gravy.
Oh,
It
yummy.
crunched.
I'm literally throwing up in my mouth right now.
I was too.
That's disgusting.
Me too,
As long
yeah.
as it's edible, I'm eating it.
Did you know what else is edible? Cow food.
No.
I've actually had to know
Me too.
when I tackled that. At first she came at me. I'm like, I'm gonna tackle her when she comes at me. Guess what I did?
Tackled.
This one was really hard.
You circled before?
Yeah, I was trying to.
Mine did not.
If I base my circle and underlines on verbs, how many verbs are in this sentence? Must be applied, dries, prepares, will be painting. 4 verbs. That means I have to have 4 separate marks. So 2 underlines, 2 circles.
Miss Dollar helped me. It's
Num-
wrong.
Number
It's not,
6.
It's wrong.
Well, is this, did she count this all as one?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had
I could go for that.
And then she
That was a hard one.
The rest of that is
Mexican muralists such as Diego Rivera and Jose Clemente Orozco are credited with reviving the fresco technique in modern times. In this case, reviving is a noun because it ends in ing, and so this sentence is
Simple.
simple. Okay, that's circled. The rest is underlined.
That's a weird looking circle.
Complex. Underline up to which, circle the after which.
Everything afterwards.
So underline up to which, circle after which.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I actually had the right mark. Wow.
Okay. We're gonna work on part B. Combine each pair of sentences into one sentence of the type indicated in parentheses. So you're going to take these 2 separate sentences and write them as a single complex sentence. Okay? So, Diego Rivera, the Mexican muralist, was married to Frida Kahlo. She was a noted Mexican painter.
Diego Rivera, the Mexican muralist, was married to Frida Kahlo when she was noted Mexican painter.
Good idea, but there's a better pronoun than when.
Was.
Was is a verb.
Rivera was I don't know who was.
Diego Rivera, the Mexican muralist, was married to Frida Kahlo.
Wild.
Wow, she was noted.
Diego Rivera, the Mexican muralist, was married to Frida Kahlo, a well-known Mexican, or a noted Mexican painter.
That would be in a positive, so it'd still be simple. Instead of saying she, what subordinator could we put in place of she? Who? Diego Rivera, the Mexican muralist, was married to Frida Kahlo, who was a noted Mexican painter. Instead of rewriting it, delete.
Who?
We'll just make it easier.
What if you drew a bunch of lines over it? I can do that.
Delete she, delete the period. We just have a compound. Diego Rivera produced murals in Mexico in the 1920s. So did Jose Clemente Orozco. David Siqueiros also produced murals in Mexico then. 3 sentences reduced to a simple sentence.
Diego Rivera, Jose Clemente,
Yep.
and David Siqueiros produced murals in Mexico in 1940.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so put a box around Jose Clemente and move it to here. Put a box around David Siqueiros and move it to right here. And what does each one need?
Comma.
Comma. Comma. P.S. This week, this is what you're going to be working on for the...
Comma.
So, Diego Rivera, comma, Jose Clemente, comma. I guess we need to insert right here. And David Siqueiros were produced murals in Mexico in the 1920s. Okay, make a compound sentence out of these 2. Los Angeles has had many murals painted since the 1960s. It is not the only city in the United States with murals in ethnic neighborhoods. Make it compound.
Los Angeles had many murals painted since the 1960s, and it is not the only city in the United States with
Shouldn't
Okay.
we say but?
Yeah, I like but better, but and would work also.
But is not the only thing you make. Yeah.
Okay?
Damn.
Man, I really need to paint my nails. Make a compound, complex sentence. To create a fresco, first an artist makes a full-size drawing on heavy paper. Then the artist or his or her assistants make tracings of the drawings on plaster. The plaster is still wet. My suggestion would be to make the complex sentence first.
Isn't then already gone? You take out that period and it'll make you put then there. Because then's a subordinate, isn't it?
Nope, it's an adverb.
Oh.
It's the th word that's not a subordinator. Than means rather, though.
This is hard.
Okay, you're gonna make your complex sentence out of the last two. If we add a word, take out the comma, or take out the period capital here, and put a word in.
On the plaster, which is still wet.
Then the artist or his or her assistants will make tracings of the drawings on plaster while,
The plaster.
I would say while, instead of, while it is still wet. Okay, good. So, take out the period,
Mm-hmm.
insert,
Wow.
While it's
Then
that's an L, not a
plaster
T,
and
okay?
replace it.
what?
Oh, never mind.
While it is still wet. Okay? So how can we make this compound?
And then.
There's a little tiny bit better way. Instead of putting and, we could just have added. How else do you make a compound sentence?
The semi.
With a semicolon.
Oh, yeah.
You could have just put in a semicolon instead of and. Okay. Put this paper. So you're going to have a sheet protector that's full of stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
This needs to go in there. You're not going to hand it in, but you might want it as we look at some of these other worksheets.
So we can control it. And Trevor could easily. What? Oh, he put stuff in Trevor's team, we can so we will track in Trevor's team. And it's time.
Carson. Carson.
What?
Is Beauty golfing?
Yeah.
I have a comment.
What the hell?
All in favor is one.
Are you kidding me? Wait, you said it was today?
I'll pass it down. Take the pass it down. Take a melon. I think a melon.
I think we got the actual
Okay.
Please send it before we start. Did you
Yes.
get mine or the form check?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. We are going to start on the page that is light colored at the top, not gray. It's page 61.
So we keep this one out?
Okay, listen closely for a second. Okay, let's talk about the directions. Page 61. You can cross out this part.
Where's that at? Okay.
We learn what.
Then on out. Just cross everything out.
In each sentence, identify the bold-faced group of words by writing IND if it's an independent clause or sub if it's a subordinate clause. Okay? Flip it over.
Is this what we're crossing out?
Yeah. Boys.
Dang, I got dyslexia.
Is that a dollar sign?
It's
And label.
Okay, on these two exercises, you're going to annotate and label. So, underline independent. Circle subordinate and label. Okay, good?
That's bad.
Page 79.
Yeah. 79?
10 off.
And annotate.
Page 79. Annotate and label. S, C, CX, CC.
Why is there D and CD?
I don't know.
It's like,
On the back, same thing.
oh wow. This thing needs to sharpen back.
What about the bottom of the B?
I'm going to tell you directions for the bottom. Okay. Everyone look at the bottom. Looking at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Build sentences by adding words, phrases, or clauses to the simple sentence below. Keep the structures from the preceding sentence in each new sentence. Okay. So we have this sentence root right here. The child plays. That child plays. In each of the 4 questions below, you're going to build upon this sentence. So for number 1, we need to add an adjective and an object to this sentence. Now, you know what an adjective is, but you don't know what an object is. So I'm going to tell you. An object is whatever the verb is acting on. Okay, so for instance, let's say it said the child paints. What does the child paint?
The fence.
The fence.
Paint.
A poster.
His room.
The girl
His sister's face.
went to the store and bought
Cake.
cake. That would be the
A
object.
puppy.
A puppy.
Ham.
Okay? So what would be an object we could add to this sentence? It cannot be a preposition.
That child plays war.
Okay? We also need an adjective.
That little child plays war.
Okay?
Plays
Fun more.
quietly.
Oh God.
Not quietly. That's an adverb.
Yeah.
Not loudly. That's it.
That's also.
So would that work? That little child plays
The
war?
small
Sure. Small child plays.
Descriptively war.
We can't have
The small child plays disc golf.
What is something a child could play?
baseball.
A board game.
Baseball. An organ.
Teacup
A board game.
An organ.
Wait.
A tea party.
A tea party.
The violin.
Okay. Put an adjective and an object on the sentence and write it down.
Right
So
now?
we'll write that whole sentence down like we'll change it that child's place.
The directions say add an adjective and an object. I just told you what an object is.
Oh, that's easy.
You know what an adjective is. Now write it down.
Let's
go!
If you weren't all having your own conversations right now, I wouldn't have had to explain that 3 times.
You're right. I was listening. It was him. It was me.
Now, for number 2, you're going to use the sentence you wrote for number 1. Add an adverb and a preposition. So use your sentence number 1
Okay.
and rewrite it by adding an adverb and a prepositional phrase.
Which one's it all
Will and adverb.
No. Which is an adverb. That small child plays piano obnoxiously, which is annoying.
Which is not a preposition.
Is will an adverb?
Will is a verb.
It could be a word.
But like,
An adverb ends in ly or tells when.
Wait,
Like
as is a preposition, right?
as a girl.
Like as they swam or something.
That's adding
So
a
you could put
subordinate clause.
that
would
small
you add
child
an
plays
adverb,
piano
Mel?
So
obnoxiously.
like if
I
you
put
that
volleyball
is annoying.
child plays football efficiently.
You're adding a preposition, not a subordinator.
Oh.
So
We're on number 2. You need a preposition.
Could mine work?
I think a little child plays
I have
baseball.
Small child plays
All
football
use baseball.
efficiently.
Okay, I find that funny.
Here, I'll change mine to
football.
Okay, so you could say like, how is he playing baseball? Is he playing like fastly or something like that?
Plays
It's not like an adverb.
piano in the play.
So like I'm using quietly.
Obnoxiously in
It's
the play. There we go.
okay, so you use a
That one will work.
like a
That small child plays piano obnoxiously in the
Oh,
play.
sorry.
Which
Yeah, you don't have
is
this.
quite annoying, to be honest.
Is it in a preposition? Yeah, it's like in the house.
If is right. If it's not raining.
Is it on a preposition?
That small child plays golf.
Baseball.
When it is.
Let's go, baby!
See, that's a good. That's a great move.
Okay. Number 3, take the sentence that you have written and add a comma fanboy to make it into a compound sentence.
Keep everything from number 2.
Now, where can you add this?
The beginning.
Beginning or the end?
Oh crap!
Another
So let's write another independent clause like another sentence after it.
Yep. So if you have
The tall child.
that
plays-
beautiful child plays piano
Wait, I got a
in
question.
church,
On the very first one,
Then what would you
you know
add?
how you said adjective
Comma.
and
and the congregation loves it.
on the very first one,
Sir.
you said
Sir,
like
sir,
that tall
sir.
child or that small child. Could I say that child plays a red guitar since red is also an adjective?
No.
It's not in the same spot, but all it says is add an adjective and an object, which I did. Right?
Yes, that's fine.
So that's okay.
For number 1.
Yeah.
So that.
So number 1 says that child plays a red guitar.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is
So
that
that small child plays piano obnoxiously in the play, but I sleep peacefully. Would that work?
In the play,
Yeah.
but you sleep peacefully during the play.
Probably
Doesn't
not.
make sense.
Will this work?
Yeah, Kara.
It's
The
a-
tall child plays
and
baseball
I
quickly on the
watch.
field, comma, everyone loves
Peaceful.
You have to have the fanboy.
And I watch.
Or can you just do a
That's fine.
semicolon?
And
You could also do a semicolon, yes.
Is
it.
it started raining? Is that good? After the common February.
Number 4, add a subordinate clause to one of the main clauses you just wrote. So I said, that beautiful child plays piano in church, comma, and the congregation loves it. And then I need to add a subordinate clause somewhere. So, that child, that beautiful child, whose name is whatever, plays piano in church, comma, and the congregation loves it. That would be okay. Or I could say, and the congregation loves it when he sings too.
so
That small child plays piano obnoxiously in the play, and I watch
if I
though
say
it is
like,
annoying.
the little child,
That work?
who is very shy,
Off.
comma, quietly plays baseball.
So the little child who is very shy.
Mhm.
Perfect. That's a subordinate clause.
Is this bottom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe you should have used like plays baseball. Okay, like you could say every day. That would tell when. You could say well. Like I feel like plays baseball quickly is kind of weird. Isn't it?
Yeah. Say is baseball smart?
Or
Like
daily?
yeah.
Or
Just make it easy.
okay, so clarification. When I come back on Tuesday, you're gonna have both pages of both of these worksheets done, and your essay
It's almost a full week.
annotated.
It's almost a full week.
But we don't have school on Friday.
And I ain't gonna do homework over the weekend. Session tonight.
So
Okay.
this isn't homework. None of this.
It's not technically homework
Yeah,
until
tomorrow and
Monday
Monday
night.
in class.
Okay.
It's only homework if it's not done by Monday night.
Seriously.